Hello, good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So, we're doing one of the other forms tonight. So, this is a look back at a classic rock album, which is an album basically for me that is older than 15 years and is at least a 2.5 or greater on my scale. My scale goes masterpiece 1, 2, 3, and then unrated. That's how I tend to do it. So this album definitely gets a 1. Probably an album that should be nominated as a masterpiece, and probably will be when I do my masterpieces. I'm thinking of doing them at the end of this month. I think I did them last September too. So I've got probably about 17 or 18 on the list of eligibles, and this one I think will probably go on there as well. So the album we're doing tonight for a look back at a classic rock album is SRV, or Stevie Ray Vaughan's Texas Flood. This is his debut album. This was released on June the 13th, 1983. Recorded at the Downtown Studio in Los Angeles, California, also at the Riverside Sound in Austin, Texas. It's about 38, probably closer to 39 minutes in length. It's on the Epic record label, produced by Stevie Ray Vaughan himself and Double Trouble and Richard Mullen. So I did initially say Stevie Ray Vaughan, but it's actually Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. So we won't miss out again by not including them in this. So that's the basic facts. Also on this album, there are 3 members of Stevie Ray Vaughan's Double Trouble, and I just lost my glasses. Give me a second. Always happens when you're trying to do too much at once. So, of course, Stevie Ray Vaughan on vocals and guitar, Tommy Shannon on bass, and Chris Layton on the drums. This was one of my, of course, my rhythm and blues era music, which kind of started when I moved out in '85, probably towards the, once I moved out, I kind of moved into this. I had been listening to this stuff a little bit before that, but it really took off once I moved out of the house on my own. Kind of stayed on top until about 1987, and then I kind of drifted away from this music a bit. But this was one of the 2 Stevie Ray Vaughan albums that I really got into. This one and Couldn't Stand the Weather, which is his second album. So this one, of course, has the big hit, I think, is the big hit for them on this album. Pride and Joy. Love Struck Baby is the title track, is the first track. Pride and Joy was the first kind of big hit he had. This is an excellent song. He's showcasing his riffing ability, the catchy riff on this particular song too. You got Texas Flood, which is the next track, really kind of a little bit on the slow hand side with the rhythm part, with some excellent guitar soloing going on here. Really bluesy type track. Tell Me, another song, really solid. Testify, I'm not as crazy about that one. Rude Mood, another really good kind of catchy riffing type song. Mary Had a Little Lamb, this one's kind of a little bit of a play on that words. It's got that kind of, it's a little bit of a poppy song, but it's definitely a rhythm and blues track as well. Use a lot of upstroking on this, I think. I do like his vocals on this one. It's one of the better songs with his vocals on it. The next song out, Dirty Pool, another slow kind of heavy kind of guitar soloing on this one. I'm Crying, and then ends off with Lenny, which is good too. But I like Love Struck Baby. A nice start to the album. Very kind of fast-paced, heavy heavy guitar riffing throughout, heavy drums. This is a really kind of a rocking song, one of the best on the album, I think. So this is a strong album for him. Some would say this is his best. I think for me it probably won't rank as number one, but it's definitely right up there among his best stuff. So unfortunately he only did 4 or 5 albums plus a live album. I have 4 or 5 albums, but I'm missing one of his studio albums, so I'd like to get them all. I don't listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan as much as I used to, but I kind of appreciate his guitar ability and his vocal part a lot, and his stage presence is quite good. He's got that real kind of flavor to him, that rhythm and blues kind of thing, and I think the reason I kind of got into him was kind of twofold. The first was I heard him on the David Bowie album Let's Dance, and I actually went to see that tour. He wasn't playing guitar for Bowie on stage, but I had been listening to that album a lot. It motivated me to go listen to his stuff. Also Hendrix as well, at that same time period, was among the bands I was listening to. These two, probably Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, were the big two for me at that time period. So this album, great one. If you like Stevie Ray Vaughan, you gotta like this. So that's my take today of Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble's Texas Flood, their debut album, released back in 1983. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you want, you can leave comments about Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, or about the album, or about anything that relates to it in the comment section below. And we will see you next week on Monday night for another episode of Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. Sorry, I was waiting for my brain to catch up. Anyways, have yourself a good evening and take care, and goodbye.